Hello everyone,
Square
we're
Enix.
accessing Square Enix. I'm Razin.
I'm Zach.
Kavia.
Kavya.
Everyone loves Kavia. Makers of this,
Fate Unlimited Codes.
I think they're the Ace Combat guys? I'm pretty sure they're the Ace Combat guys. Cuz that's part of this story at least. So, we're being presented with something. This is awkward because the video title already spoiled it, and you probably clicked on it and know already. But the game cinematic isn't going to tell us the title right at the start here. So yeah, we're let's playing Drakengard. This game is awful.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad, but I also love it, and I want to let's play it, keeping with my tradition of let's playing games that people don't want to play but also want to experience at the same time. And we're being presented with the nice opening cinematic here that I'm pretty sure that half of this game's budget went into. This is a pretty good opening for the time. Which is like 2003-ish, 2004.
This was an early PS2 game, right?
Kind of. It was a couple years in. It was like 2003. So like mid. You would think it would be an early PS2 era game with how it looks and plays, but it was a little later than you would probably want.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like look at this look at this shit. Look at that fire.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
this is a Square Enix FMV, all things considered.
yeah, I was gonna say, it's got the backing of Square Enix, so it's not that impressive considering Final Fantasy X has already happened, but...
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know what Drakengard is, it is a game that was created by Kavya and more specifically has the name Yoko Taro, or Taro Yoko if you're pronouncing it like a filthy Westerner, attached to it. And he went on to create Nier, which you probably have heard of because that one kind of got a little bigger and is commonly listed as being one of the big underrated RPGs that everyone loves. Went on to make Drakengard 3, and Nier Automata's coming out, which seems to be pulling a lot of people into. So, I kind of have always been interested in the series. I heard a lot of things, and I just kind of took the jump and bought all of them. And I'm basically done with Drakengard 1. And I'm like, I need to let's play this shit because there is some weird shit in this game, man. And I kind of love it, but also this game is terrible. And honestly, I don't think I could actually recommend anyone play this. It's really quite bad.
Well, that's kind of why I'm here.
Yeah, you tried playing it. You tried to brave the fires.
Yeah, the same thing, I really wanted to get into it, so I also went in, bought them all except for two. I bought the Yoko Taro ones, and
Yeah.
wanted to start with this one, and got maybe half an hour to 40 minutes in, and had to quit.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I stuck with it, and actually I'm going to be technically playing through this game twice, because I played through it once just to take notes, and now the second playthrough is what you're going to be seeing. So yeah, and also, side note, but Yoko Taro did work on, we'll talk about 2 a little bit in this playthrough, actually, because there's some good development history stuff that 2 kind of comes into play with, but 2 wasn't made by Yoko Taro, at least he didn't have as much of an administrative position on it. He kind of just worked as, like, he helped out with some, like, FMVs and cutscenes and stuff. Like, he did some cutscene direction, but he wasn't really, like, a writer on it or, like, directed it at all like this game. So, there's a lot to talk about this game's history. Also, there's a second cutscene that plays if you, stay on this, menu. That I don't recommend you actually watch if you want to avoid spoilers, because it'll really actually spoil a lot of the game. Also, I'm an idiot here in the options menu. I was like, let me see if all the things are set right, and then I forgot to turn autosave on, which you're gonna want to do. This game only has 1 save file, which is kind of annoying. I hate when games do that, personally.
It's not good.
Yeah, I had to actually pull out my old memory card to, like, make a second playthrough without deleting my old playthrough, which was lame. I forgot I was in the middle of saying something before I cut myself off and I completely forgot.
Two great powers, the Union and the Empire.
But yeah, we have some setup here.
For the control
Very generic
who protect
Japanese
the harmony of the world.
fantasy setup. There's like a union of kingdoms that are fighting back against an evil empire.
Hey, it works.
It works.
You know?
Tried and true, Final Fantasy 15 has the same setup. Well, I guess it's just the one, but
Its fate now lies in the hands of one man.
But yeah, I guess I can get a little into the development history.
I'm interested in hearing it, so yeah.
So the first thing we're gonna see, well, when we get into gameplay, but right now we're gonna get into more FMV. And actually, I will say the FMV of this game, even not just the intro, is pretty good when they do use it. Every chapter has their obligatory full motion video, of course.
It begins.
Oh no. And this music, the music of this game was made specifically to sound chaotic and like orchestral, but also like really uncomfortable to listen to. Like if you try to just listen to this game's soundtrack, it's kind of like irritating actually, because it sounds really hectic and...
You know, I feel like I felt that while playing it, but didn't mentally notice it.
Yeah, it adds something to the game, but if you try to listen to it on its own, it's actually kind of irritating. If you look closely, by the way, you might see it. I think there's a second guy. These enemy soldiers have, like, blood red colored eyes, which is a little weird. Yeah, you can kind of see it a bit there.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a crime in Trump's America.
Whoa. we going in there.
We are.
Drakengard 1 LP. 3/10 for talking about Trump.
Alright, so now we're into the gameplay. Now this is, well, yeah, there's also this. So every part of the story is divided up into chapters, and each little level, if you want to call it that, is called a verse. So we're in Chapter 1, Verse 2. Chapter 1, Verse 1 was that cutscene we just watched. The game's organized in, like, a very clear-cut way, and it's kind of odd a little bit, like, that the cutscenes count as levels, but...
Drakengard 3 does the same thing, which I am playing, by the way. I skipped from 1, which I quit playing.
So here we go. This is what I've been trying to talk about, but I thought I might as well wait until we're playing. This game was directly made as a response to Dynasty Warriors 2 selling super well. So that map is Muso as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And you can hit R3, that kind of is your pause, it lets you move around the map. Your mission, that you select that and it shows you your mission status and all your mission objectives, and then there's a status screen that's for all intents and purposes useless. You hit square to attack. You can hit L3 to turn on and off enemy life bars. I always keep them on. There's no reason to ever turn them off, honestly, unless you would really care for getting immersed, but...
Yeah, because this game looks so good.
Yeah. Also, too, when I get hit, because my capture card doesn't like recording 60 frames directly on PS2, Kaim's just going to disappear for a little bit there. You can dodge. You have magic by hitting triangle, and you can see my magic bar go down. That's the green meter. You have a jumping attack that I showed off earlier, and also you have like a little combo attack. And if you, after like his hand kind of flashes there, you can see on some of those slashes, like the very first slash, if you hit triangle immediately after, a shockwave will come out. Every attack kind of has like a finishing attack like that. You can be hit out of it, so you do want to be kind of sparse when using it, but it is very good because it blows back the enemy and kind of gives you some breathing room. The more you chain your attacks, items will drop in. Either orange orbs will drop in, and they're kind of just like bombs that'll create a shockwave like that. But also, that's how you also get your health pickups, which is really nice. So if you're doing really bad in this game, you're going to game over fast, because the only real reliable way of getting health back is by getting combos off on enemies. So I'm going to be cutting down and speeding up a lot of this footage the further we go, because this game is really slow and repetitive. But this first episode, I just wanted to show off how long these levels can actually really be, so there's no real editing here. Unless I put some in that I forgot about, but we'll get to that if it ever shows up.
The thing is, too, like, it feels worse than it even looks.
Yeah, it's really stiff. And also the camera is a bitch and a half. It's not great.
Like, just swinging the sword does not feel good.
It does not. Jumping feels awkward as hell. Also, too, one thing to keep in mind is whenever you're casting magic, just by hitting triangle, like when I'm throwing out that fireball there, you are completely invincible. So magic in this game is great. Also, if you run for long enough, you can do a really, really powerful running stab like that knocks them back. So yeah, really, you're going into the fray here and just slaughtering people. And you can see we have a little kill counter in the bottom right.
Hey, I wonder where that's taken from.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of a Warriors fan, so it's funny for me.
Which is because there's actually something I want to ask you about, because I'm not. I've never played a Musou game, really.
Yeah.
Okay, I played a bit of the Gundam ones, but I don't know. Those ones weren't particularly well-liked among even Musou people, from what I hear. So you can see some enemies have that big circle next to their life bar. So those are like the squad leaders, and if you kill the squad leader, the rest of the squad's AI becomes dumber. Was that in Musou games ever?
I don't know if that particular version of it does, where they become dumber, but the squad leader system is definitely from Musou.
Okay.
Where, like, in some games, if you kill the squad leader, the rest of the squad just kind of goes away and gets replaced by your squad, like Hyrule Warriors does that. Like that.
Yeah. And then you can see this guy's, and you can see here, so there are enemies that are just the shit normal enemies. Some enemies will block you and then counterattack that you need to dodge away from, which is less reliable than you would like it to be, honestly. It's not so much a matter of timing as much as it is just the game deciding that you weren't going to get hit. See, I dodged away perfectly there, but that isn't reliable at all. So you can kind of hear our main character, Kaim, talking a bit here. At various points, there was some dialogue that popped up. A lot of this game's story is through, like, battle dialogue and stuff. And Kaim's kind of an asshole. Like, he really likes killing people.
I've heard that was deliberate.
That was. So one thing that Yoko Taro really, like, one of his main big things with this game, and I feel like the kill counter actually adds to this a lot, is he said that his problem with a lot of games is that he never could imagine what it would be like to even feel justified in killing a single person. And he thought that the fact that so many video games are about a main character going back and just killing thousands upon thousands of people, and then going and, like, kissing their girlfriend and then yay, happy ending, he thought that was always really weird, and he never liked that. So he decided that to make that dissonance not as much there, the main character was just going to be kind of an asshole and kind of like killing people. So he's really kind of a... He really digs killing Empire soldiers. And I think that was the last target. I'm not entirely sure. No,
So,
it wouldn't be, because our
You have to
objective
kill
didn't
all
change.
the targets to move on, correct?
Yes.
If I remember? Yeah.
But, so, you might be watching this going, hey, can I make the gameplay better by just running up to the targets and just killing them and ignoring all the other enemies? Yes, but you are going to be losing out on upgrading your weapons, because you can... The more kills you get with the weapon, and it's just specifically kills, there's no real XP for weapon level ups. Like, after 200 kills, Kaim's weapon here is going to upgrade, so in this first mission, I make sure to kill exactly 200 people before moving on. And also, too, the more people you kill in general, Kaim will level up and get more health. So that's the main justification you want for leveling up, is getting more health for Kaim.
I will say, it's something that Warriors games never really... I mean, there's a million Warrior games I haven't played, but none of the ones that I know of really had much of a point to the kill counter other than a score thing, so that's pretty neat. To actually give it a purpose to be there.
You don't really level up in Musou games, do you? It's just kind of...
Yeah, a lot of them you do level up, but it's more of a experience thing, as opposed to, like, get this many kills, which I guess is related, but it's a little better to have this tied to the kill counter. And
you just saw right there why the block is useless in this game, because if an enemy has a strong enough attack, you're just going to get knocked back, and when you're knocked back, if you get hit by anyone else, that's just a free hit for the enemy. So just always dodge, basically. And if you really want to be safe, what you do is you dodge and then hit triangle immediately after if you have the meter, because then you dodge into an invincible state of casting magic, and that gets off the enemy forces really well. That sounded really dirty, and I apologize, but...
That's fine. Yoko Taro would probably approve.
Probably. He's a very interesting man, and he's honestly the only reason this game is of note, so...
Yeah, I would say I feel the same way about Drakengard 3, so I'm curious to see how this one plays out.
It's even more curious is Drakengard 2, in which he had much less of a presence, but a lot of the gameplay from this game isn't that... It's better, but it's not that much better, and that game is not very well liked as a result. And you can see me exploiting the jump attack here, which is your fastest attack in the game,
Nice.
and I got hit out of it. So it's not very safe, but you can get some really good hits in. Get some health back, and yeah, just go to town. And you can see that that stumbles him every time, too, when he's on the ground like that, so he's just stuck there until I stop doing that.
Yeah, it's
Or get
definitely
hit by
going
the other guy.
smoother. It's going smoother for you than I remember it going for me.
You gotta practice at it. Unfortunately.
That looks really goofy.
It's really dumb, I love it. So also, sometimes these treasure boxes will appear. A lot of the times after you kill a target, it'll give you like a key or something, then that's how you get from one area to the next. I'm just gonna, I'm at 189 right now, so I'm going, and I just need to kill like 10 more guys to level up my sword to level 2. When you level up your weapons, they get more hits in a combo, and they also get slightly stronger, and also you get another bar of your magic meter. So you get more magic casts, and also you, like the actual effect of whatever the magic spell is associated with the weapon, which I don't think I explained, to be fair. The magic effect will increase, so when Kaim gets a level 2 sword, he'll cast 2 or 3 fireballs instead of just the one that I'm doing now, so... That's kind of our level up screen. As you can see, leveling up just really affects his health, so it just gives you more max HP. Very basic. And also for beating the first mission, this is the only mission in the game like this, if I recall, you get a weapon for free. One thing to keep in mind is, to get the final, this game has 5 endings, which we'll get into much later. To get the last ending, basically, you need to collect every weapon in the game, which is awful. During the course of this Let's Play, I'm going to be collecting every single weapon as I do it, as best as I can. Otherwise, if I somehow miss it during the mission, I'm going to just edit in me getting it. You can replay any mission in this game just from the menu and get stuff that you missed, so there's no penalty for not doing it on your first try, but I want to save as much as the viewer's time as possible, so...
Yeah, I've heard that this game can get pretty long when you're collecting all the weapons.
It can, honestly. There's a point very late into the game where you might have to grind just to make your character better too, which adds on, and it's just it can take more of your time than it's honestly worth, but hey. And I'm also going to be showing off just the brief explanation, like status screen of all of the weapons as I get them, just for those curious of their stats and stuff. I'll be pointing out the actual like good weapons you're probably going to want to be using, but I'll try to show off everything at least a little bit. Notice that dragon had red eyes.
Oh.
Kill me if you desire, but you can never dirty my soul, wretched human.
Tell me, do you still want to live, dragon?
What?
A pact! There's no other way!
What makes you worthy of a pact with me?
Worthy or not, I wish to live. Despise me if you will,
That's a nasty cut.
but I shall not die. Your answer, a pact or death?
So a pact is something that comes up a lot in Yoko Taro works. And it's basically, more specifically Drakengard than Nier, but it basically binds the soul of a person and a magical being together.
So, I just want to point out that a lot of the story of this game seems to be just in these mission beginnings.
Yeah, it really is. Like, you can imply that those were his parents, the king and the queen.
Yeah.
Kime's a prince, by the way, which really isn't explained that well either, but you can kind of infer it just by how people treat him, and also just the fact that his parents look like royalty. But yeah, his parents totally got fucking murdered by an Imperial Dragon. And I'm showing off the weapon we got here. Ymir's Fang, I think it's called. That might be the name of the... Or no, it's called Bonebreaker, and Ymir's Fang is this spell right here, which is actually really useful, but not as good as the Fireball, sadly. There are different weapon types, and they all kind of have different speeds and reach and stuff. This thing is really awkward to use and not the greatest, but the finishing blow there, you might have seen it, kind of shoots out a little bit of a magic projectile in addition to the shockwave, and that's actually really useful. So, like Kime's regular sword just is a shockwave attack, so it's kind of basic in that regard. But yeah, a lot of the story is in those little mission status screens, which is interesting.
Well, I feel like, and this isn't a comment on the development because I don't know so much, but this game feels really low budget.
There was a reason for that, and I'll get into it in a mission or two. Actually, that'll be next episode. But basically, the team was charged with creating a game that was a lot bigger than what they initially wanted it to be, and a lot more complicated than what they initially wanted it to be. And then apparently the higher-ups in Square Enix didn't give them the resources that they would need for the project either. And also, like, a combination of them not being given enough money and also being unskilled seemed to lead to this end result, which is Steam Early Access before Steam even existed, basically. Yeah, it's really bad. So yeah, I'm sure that a lot of that story being in those little page, like, mission briefings was a result of that too, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, wanna know a fun fact?
Yeah.
So that dragon's voice actress, same voice actress who did Kite in Dot Hack Sign.
Get out, really?
Wanna know something else?
What?
Same voice actress who did the childhood version of Emiya Shiro from Fate Zero.
Oh, okay.
Thought you'd like to know that.
I would like to. Oh man, connections all around. Hey, also, I recognize that same voice actress in the Gundam that I watched.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. See, you want to know why? Because I got, like, towards the end of the game, and I was like, you know what? I bet that's the same voice actress who did Frieza. And surprisingly, no. Totally different person.
Still alive.
Man.
But, like, doesn't that sound like Frieza?
Devil's luck. A pact with you.
If you told me that it was, I could believe it, but I wouldn't guess that myself.
Oh. Also, there's a nice little message out here in the blood that is really hard to get fully for the camera to pick up, but it just says resistors will lay in hell.
Oh,
Or
nice.
shall lay in
hey,
hell.
Yeah, I see it.
I think the dragon got fucked up by the Imperial soldiers, and they're just like, fuck yeah. Suck it, dragon.
What was that? Was that pause just so you could see that, or did you have to walk the dragon?
No, that was just so you could see it more. And we leveled up, which is nice. See, because I didn't select the autosave, I have to fucking save manually every time, which I immediately fixed at the end of this first chapter. When you select a chapter to play for the first time, it kind of does everything in order. So it's like a playlist on YouTube, it auto-plays.
Now, your answer.
A pact or death. We are united by our need to live.
Well,
Yes, a pact.
Those souls look weird as fuck to me.
That's a soul.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think it's because of the red little jelly thing on the inside. Because normally when I think soul, I just think like white ball, but like they look like little like jellyfish or something. It's weird. Also, his fucking lips kill me every FMV. Look at them.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Dragon go shake around a little bit. Yeah, it's free now.
It's a cool looking dragon, to be fair.
Yeah, I really like the design. The horns I really like because of how like weird and beefy they are.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like, I'm a stickler for like, hey, I think dragons should be actual dragons and have 4 legs instead of 2, and then their arms are, because that's like a wyvern. That's not a dragon. But that's just me being an asshole.
Is there really a difference with that?
There is a difference.